You're listening to The Real Reason.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is The Real Reason, and this week, it's gonna be myself, my brother, QJ, and Oti in the mix. Yo, the man, them just kill the people them one time, no, man.
Big up. Good to be here.
Blessings.
Looking forward to a great conversation.
Yeah, bless up, everyone. It's good vibes.
Good vibes, man. So the way we do it, we're gonna keep it random, we're gonna keep it spontaneous, but we're also gonna keep it real. Because this is what? The real reason.
The real reason.
So, my question to you today, or the thought behind this thing that I want to pose, this conversation I would want to have is this, right? So, we know every year, a lot of times people try to set resolutions or come up with some plan for the year. We reach December, so we are close out 2022. See? Now, that said, some people is like, yo, the New Year's resolution thing kind of become a bit cliche. So them said them no want to create a New Year resolution. But deep in them heart, them have plans or them have goals and them have objectives. Now we reach the end of the year. Maybe each of us had plans. I know I had plans, right? And maybe for some reason some of them get delayed. I don't know. But my question then is, do you believe that procrastination can be progressive?
If procrastination can be progressive.
Yeah, man.
All right.
That our procrastination can push us to where we need to be.
All right, can I say something?
Well, true, bro.
Good show.
All right. I don't think procrastination in and of itself can actually make us progressive. Reason being, normally if you're procrastinating, right? And
hold on. The man say if we procrastinate, we're procrastinating.
No. Yeah, so I say, all right, procrastinating, right? Normally, if you procrastinate, it's not all the time, and it depends on what the thing you're procrastinating with is. You might not make any move unless it affects you in a negative, like a serious way. So I don't think like just procrastinating by itself, because to be honest, there are things that I procrastinated, and it's been years. 30 years, and no movement. But like certain things, like when it dawn on you, when it hit you, right, it affect you, like probably immediately or short term. You realize, oh, I really need to get this thing sorted. So yeah, I don't think procrastination in and of itself, is progressive or will push you.
See.
I mean, can procrastination be progressive? In other words, can good things come out of procrastination?
Yo, if that's how you're hearing it, I just want to know if procrastination can push you forward.
I mean, it depends on the motivation, the reason for the procrastination. You know what I mean?
See.
Because you can, I believe you can delay doing things just because you're uncertainty. You're just not sure what road to choose, and so you're waiting to see what the options are. Because sometimes you have a variety of things that you can get involved in, and you're trying to make sure you don't, what's the word now? You don't bark up the wrong tree or go down the wrong road. So you're looking and seeing if it's the right road. At that point, procrastination seems warranted. Or it's something that you could venture into, but you're not sure if it's the right time. And that's a thing for me personally, because like you have some ideas or you see some things that are a possibility, and you're like, yeah, but is it the right time?
Word. Word. Yo,
And
so
yeah.
like my thinking on it, right? I'm not sure if you were done though. I don't want to cut it.
No man, it's okay.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So I don't know if one of you guys can probably help me with the book definition of procrastination, because that's something I never looked up. But at least my head knowledge on it is procrastination, at least from my understanding, would be something that we would have an opportunity to do. You can't procrastinate unless there's an opportunity to do it. At least that's how I feel about it, right? Again, you guys can validate that. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that I want to do a thing, have the time and the opportunity to do it, and I deliberately choose not to do it. Coming up with whatever reason that I can come up with not to do it. But the opportunity is there. And I already define the definition because I really don't want to land this plane without being absolutely sure.
All right. Go through.
Okay, so I googled it.
Yeah.
Right, and according to mindtools.com, says procrastination is the habit of delaying an important task, usually by focusing on less urgent, more enjoyable, and easier activities instead.
See, okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, man. So it's like we basically say, all right, to give an example. When you live as a bachelor in your own place, some people, right, they might say, eat a food, you put on a one plate and say, my food just wash up the one plate, it's legit just one plate for wash, no big issue, right? But more watch a YouTube video, so I'm gonna sit down and watch this YouTube video, right? Because it's a YouTube video. 5 hours later, you're still on that same YouTube video, Zine, and you're hungry again. Plate one washing, but I'm hungry right now, so I'm just gonna take out another plate and just eat out of that. Put it on, same thing, right? 1, 2, 3 day pass, and that's been the cycle. Instead of just washing up the one plate, we end up with 5 because we want to do something else, and something else keeps coming up. And then you kind of think about it, I should have just washed the one plate from that one time and just kept that habit going instead of putting it off, because now I'm in a situation where there is more on my plate than I had initially intended, right? But to the point that I think you both were making, then I'm wondering, can procrastination be divinely inspired or divinely suggested or caused by God? Can our procrastination be as a result of fellowship with God?
I believe so. Remember now, procrastination is a human condition.
Word.
You understand? So we can't say God procrastinate.
Fine. No. So, not God. Us.
It's me procrastinate.
Right.
And so something that I might seemingly to the outside world be procrastinating and could be something that the Lord is really having a hand in. You know what I mean? There are certain things, and I don't know if I have an example off the bat right now, but there's certain things that anybody else would have looked and say, you know that yet? How come in? And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get around to it. Or there's something that is just saying, no man, wait till X time. Check it back next month. Them those type of things. It could be just that it is just the Lord prompting you in that way. And I used to have a friend that he would always say, anything my mind tell me, that me do. No, and it wasn't to be in a negative way. What say the feeling was that whatever the instinct is, whatever that I'm feeling in my gut, the gut feeling. That's what I roll in with. And so sometimes, especially if you have that close relationship with the Lord, and you know that you believe that your life isn't random, then certain leanings that you have, even if others might view it as procrastination, might be just due to your relationship with the Lord, and the Lord is leading you in that direction. Yeah.
But then, like you mentioned a while ago too, that others view it as procrastination. You know what I mean? So, for example, there's this, I want to do this, and you're telling people that you want to do it. They don't see you doing it, and their interpretation is, you keep procrastinating. Why you keep putting this off, and whatever the case is. Whereas internally, you don't feel like you are procrastinating. You feel like it's not the right time. You know what I mean? It's just not the right time. And so I think that also puts another spin on what procrastination is the book definition of procrastination and how we feel about it within our own selves and how other people feel about it as it relates to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm not procrastinating at all in writing this book or in researching this topic or applying for these jobs. But to everybody else, I just look like a lazy. I'm just not doing anything. You know what I mean? And I think the only person who can truly tell is, one's own self. In terms of what.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Other people's perspective that really affects how we think of procrastination. And because let me give a real life example for me. See, I'm working on some music, producing some music, and there might be times where I have the time, and the computer is there, the keyboard is there. I have the time space to go sit down and work on the song. But I don't know. To the casual onlooker, that is procrastination. But for you who know that doing a creative thing, that creativity is not just time, but it's also the mental space. Being there, because sometimes you have the time, but the mental is not there. So like if you went out whole day, for example, got back in at say 8, you freshen up and you eat some food, so probably by 9 you're free again. So you technically don't have any bills or any, maybe you don't have children, so you don't have any of those things to focus on. Rightfully that for those who are, especially the super motivated people, rightfully that seems like a time frame that you should be cracking on and working on that project. But your project might require more than just time. The other things that might affect you might be just simply a mental space. And if it's something for me, if it's something that has to do with God and church, then I also have to pay attention to the spiritual space too. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, no, I don't really want to do this right now, because now I mess up God thing. So that those are things that I think affect.
But I have a question to put to you and QJ. You're working on a project scene for a church. The commitment is by the end of December 2022, this project must be finished. You've started this project. Let's say it's something with 5 tracks. Zine. December 20, 4 tracks completed. But by the 5th track, you not really feel it. You just run out of steam. You just feel like you need to pray and go on some fasting. how do you deal with that kind of situation now? Where you've made a commitment, it needs to be done. It's the Lord's work, but you are out of it.
All right, so you say you feel like you need to pray and fast, right?
I'm just putting all the
Right.
out there.
If it is a case where you feel led that you need to do that, I think you should. Why? You probably force it, and the end result is worse. It just come out as a disaster because you didn't follow the leading. Because I don't think people just feel to pray and fast like that. It must be the leading of the Holy Spirit, I believe. You know, it must be some conviction that you have at the time that says, okay, I really need to do this. So I say pray and fast if you must. You can take a day. Well, not a day. You can take a few hours. You decide, so boy, for the rest of this time, I'm just gonna take myself away. Try to hear what God is saying, right? Because sometimes it might be that it's not 5 track you need or success you need for, or in that final hour, something amazing come to you that blows the other 4 away. You never know.
See, I hear that. So, okay, but when you are in this situation and you've made a commitment, 5 tracks. Now again, we may be steering a little bit away from just procrastination here, right? But just work it.
Yeah.
You've made a commitment. So it's not your project now, And I want to also liken it to, let us say you started a new job, right? So same thing, and again, come back to the 5-track thing, right? You started a job, and by week 3, you just feel like you need a break, fam. You just need to pray. You just feel like you need to pray. You need some days off work, probably about a week or 2, right? How do you believe that that's, again, I don't want to say in absolute terms, but just generally, like, do you feel like that's God's leading, or do you think something else could be at play? So same kind of concept for the 5-track thing too.
Well, all right. God does lead, but remember that God is a God of wisdom. You know what I mean? And then, so if I don't have the luxury of spontaneously taking off a week, taking a week off, then I can forcefully do it and say it's God. No, we can't do foolishness and say is God inspired that.
Wait.
So
No. Okay, finish.
So even if we're feeling in, and then we have to separate feelings from what God is really saying. So even if I feel that I need a break, then I have to measure the feeling along with wisdom. All right, I need a break. I can't afford a whole week off. How are going to work out this break? My days off that I have available, how much can I take? 1? All right, if I'm going to take a 1 day off, how am I going to use it to help change my mood or my feeling? Or can I achieve the change without taking a break? You know, maybe. And this has become is a word that used to be a taboo word, but it's becoming more popular. Maybe therapy is necessary.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and I agree. Wisdom, Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. You're not gonna really take up yourself, so boy, just get a job and 3 weeks you didn't feel out of it. You need a break and you take a week to pray. What if your boss is an atheist?
Bro, you have to follow the Lord's leading.
You
It's
understand?
nothing.
You have to use wisdom, and even if your boss is a Christian, right? Say he's a man of the word. He knows the principle of the word. You know, say you can't really. And the Bible also speaks about correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's a scripture that speaks about basically not using basically to honor your master, right? Not using your the time that you work to do personal stuff. I don't remember the scripture, but it basically was speaking about honoring your master, right? And not to say that your boss is Lord over you, but he's in charge of whatever company or
Well, him Lord,
business
oh,
you
in our job,
you know. But you still you have to apply wisdom,
Right,
because you don't want to lose a job. You don't want the faith to look like a joke.
Right.
Right? So even with the 5-track thing, going back to the 5-track, I mean, all right, was it that the 20th was the deadline?
So the person
Or is
don't
that
no, that is when they need but the product. Whatever you want to do in between, it don't matter to them. It's
right,
just
but they need it on the 20th.
Yes. Yes, they need it on the 20th.
All right, no. That is a God that is very strategic, and sometimes to prove to us or prove to somebody else who he is, something like that can happen and it actually work out in terms of on the day, you know, you are inspired to do something and the production even runs smoother than the other 4. You know, everything is finished on time, be handled in on the day. So I write songs, but they don't really come to me as quick as other persons. But I have this one song that I wrote. I actually wrote this song in less than an hour. I've never done that with a song before, but I wrote a full song in less than an hour. And I took my parents to visit a missionary at where she was staying, and we were in the lobby. And I just sat in the lobby and just listened to the rhythm one time. Bam, just like that. But then, you know, there's another time I might get a rhythm and I mean Zeal, you know, get a rhythm and say, all right, we can get something by next week or so. All right, by tomorrow or tonight.
Yep.
And you can't get nothing is there.
Straight.
You understand? So I believe that wisdom must prevail.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling burdened, right, the final day, a lot of pressure can reach you. Take some time, breathe, right? Compose yourself, allow God to lead you, and just do what you have to do.
Straight, man. Yeah. So I have a few thoughts I think I want to share. Just quickly. One, I think from a Christian perspective, a lot of times we procrastinate under the guise of fellowshipping with God. You know what I mean? So sometimes we have something to do, but we've programmed ourselves to quote unquote worship so much that we use worshiping as an excuse to not do what we need to do. You know, boy, I just need to pray. Boy, I just need to spend some time in the Word and things like that. Where really and truly, God's position on it could just be, fam, you need to get up and do what you need to do. We're good. Do what you need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as maybe we feel intimidated, maybe we're just out of it, whatever the reason is. You know what I mean? Two, I think also from a procrastination perspective, something that people should try to do One is not always say yes to everything too. You know what I mean? I remember learning one about setting SMART goals, specific, measurable, what they aiming,
Attainable, I remember.
attainable, are relevant, time bound. I don't remember, something like that. But I think the time bound part of it is really where I kind of zoning in just now, right?
Yeah.
Somebody come to you with something and you know that just generally you can do that in that time. It's not possible, right? I think the wise thing to say, whether it be at work or church or whatever, is, hey, I don't know that we can do this in this time, or I don't think the finished product is going to be in what I want to do with the time that we have. If it's personal, you can say, oh, by the end of the year, so for example, some people say, oh, I want to save $10 million. Seen? Cool, but your gross salary is $3 million. So you have a plan for that? And how that's going? Do you have a cushion to say, yo, okay, yo, this probably won't be attainable in 1 year? Because I have expensive out of that $3 million that I'm working. You know what I mean? So things like that, and then putting things in place so that you don't set up yourself for disappointment, I think is a very important thing. You know what I mean? So for myself, something I'm trying to do is, with whatever I plan, kind of set goals. Okay, yo, in 5 months I wanted X, Y, and Z. But I also try to reevaluate as time goes along. And the truth is, sometimes we work so hard and we really just need to ease off of the gas and just be, just do something else. Just be distracted. Just relax. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have a plan and things just get hectic because you never plan for all the other things that's supposed to happen in your life. And again, but God sees it, and you have to just be flexible with it. But other times, we have the time, we have the opportunity, and we just don't feel motivated. And sometimes, back to the track thing, is that we have to kind of sit down and work through the times when we don't feel motivated, because that's just how life is sometimes. If you have work, you have some, I'm sure we all can relate. There are days when we don't want to work, we don't want to have to go work, but we know we have to do what we have to do. So irrespective of how we feel, we show up and we do what we have to do. So
and another thing is, we need to realize that we can ask for help.
Word.
A lot of times we try to do things on our own, and something like that now, on the day that it is due, we still not finished. The time leading up to it, we could simply have asked someone to assist, right?
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. So, you know what? Yo, we're going to kind of pull the handbrake on this one, but yo, procrastination. My encouragement to anybody listening, watching, vibing with us is, sometimes we may feel to procrastinate. I think we should watch how many things we try to juggle, how much things we try to do, and pray about it, but don't spend all your time praying. Action certain things and push forward and gauge where God is leading from, how you feel, or your feelings may be leading you. You know what I mean? That's my thing. I don't know what the other man them upset to the people.
Yeah, I think for all of us, we need to pay attention to what is driving the procrastination, what is the root cause. For many of us, fear could be a real reason for the procrastination. Fear. And it's not that I'm talking about it that I really realize, fear is really a sticking point. We're putting things off because we're uncertain. Fear of the uncertain. And if fear is driving the procrastination, then we know it's the wrong motive for putting it off. So we need to eliminate that fear that is preventing us from doing the things that we should be doing now. Yeah.
QJ?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, sometimes it's just a bad habit. Procrastination. So we need to, sometimes just reflect and just acknowledge that this is a weakness that we need to work on. Yeah. And just make the change.
Yeah, man. Well, people, you've heard it. So check us next week again on the Real Reazn. All right, so that's all, folks. Yo, big up for yourself, man.
Bless up.
Bless up.